Okay, I want to do another video. We did one yesterday. I want to get this one done right before dark. The one yesterday was talking about St. Kitts, the price on the donation option going from $125,000 and doubling in price. You know, the thing about it is, you got nobody to blame but yourself. The government had that thing on sale for 6 months, from January through June, and you didn't take that chance. These programs don't last forever, folks. You got to jump on them really quick. There's a lot of people that jumped on that. But as I mentioned to you before, I've always said, I don't care if the donation option is $125,000 or $250,000. To me, as I told you before, when it was $125,000, I thought the real estate option was a lot better deal. Just to give you an example, I'm going to give you some figures, just so you have some concrete figures. We had a lot of people send notifications and that really got confused. I don't think they really knew what they were talking about. And they misunderstood some of the stuff that I read last night and went through with you. First of all, the government fees right now, in case they change it, and they have not mentioned they're going to change that, the government fees right now on the real estate option, now remember, it was $125,000 before. They've doubled the figure, okay? At $125,000, the government fees on the real estate option was $25,000, okay? Versus $125,000. That's why the real estate option was a lot better. You got to remember, most of your money going out in the real estate option is being invested. The donation option, everything's going out. You don't have anything invested, okay? And now you're looking at $250,000 versus $25,000 on the real estate option. Folks, that's a 90% discount. You know? So I'm thinking, you don't think it's a good idea on the real estate option? That hasn't changed. It's still $25,000 for the main applicant. And this is what I don't understand. It's why people can't figure out these things. You know, I about flunked out of high school, okay? And I can figure out that by far, when you look at the amount you pay out in fees that aren't coming back, the real estate option kills the donation option, okay? Now, some other things you're going to have to look at. Some people got confused too on this this condominium versus the buying a villa, $400,000 versus on the condominium versus $800,000 on the villa. Okay, that's on the home program. That's not on the regular. If you're buying a citizenship development, okay. Now they didn't mention that, but I assume that's going to stay the same because some of these developments have condos and some have houses. They were talking about the home program. If you get the condo, and remember, these condos don't have to be in a citizenship development if you're going to approve for the home program, okay? There are certain guidelines I'm sure they're going to come out with that you're going to have to meet to get in that qualification, but this is the thing. They've opened up a lot more properties now. And somebody had mentioned something about they don't want to pay $400,000 for a condo. You're talking about a country that has no income. Maybe you should be going to another country like Nicaragua. It's real cheap, okay? Or maybe Ecuador, okay? This is an English-speaking country. No income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. If you don't have a net worth at least $2 or $3 million, I don't even know why you're looking at St. Kitts to begin with. Because even if you go with a real estate option, you're looking at $400,000. Folks, go to the Cayman Islands. You think it's expensive here? Go to the Cayman Islands. And you get the prices over there. You know why it's expensive in these places? Because, again, no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. And guess what? Those fees are going to go through the roof. The figures you see on real estate now are going through the roof. Because now they've upped it from $400,000 on the villa for the home program up to $800,000. That's just doubled in price. You don't think properties are going to go through the roof? They've already. That alone is going to make the huge difference. But, you know, if you sit on the toilet too long, okay, you're going to go back and regret, as I mentioned before. And this is what happened to people who were still stuck on this donation option at $125,000. You had your chance. It was gone. It's gone, folks. Okay? You should have been like a grasshopper in a chicken pen when they came out with that. You should have been all on top of that if you're sold on the donation option. I'm not sold on it, never have been. And I told you this on many videos. Why? I just gave you the figures, 25,000 versus 125,000. Which one's lower? You don't have to go back to grade school to figure that out, okay? Now, the thing about the properties here, the reason the properties, the Caribbean, I just told you, just out here to my left, way out here, okay? 50 miles away. St. Bart's is selling for 58 times more per square foot than St. Kitts is right now. 58 times. Not 3 or 4 times, 58 times. Those prices are going to come back convergence with each other over a period of time. Where you're going to see the properties go through the roof in St. Kitts, and this is what happened back from 2003 to 2010 when it peaked out, is the dollar plummeted. This is when the euro, you can pull up a chart of the euro and see what happened to the euro and the pound sterling. Euro went up to roughly about €1 could buy about $1.60, $1.61 US. Pound sterling was around 210, 211. That means for 1 pound sterling you could buy $2.10 roughly of US dollars. That's when it peaked out. You're going to see that happen again. What happens is that when people from UK and Europe have their currencies go up so much, and remember the dollars, we had the dollar in a huge upward movement for a long time, but now what's going to happen, that's getting ready to change, okay? And the dollar usually runs in a usually 11-year bull run before it corrects. We're way over 11 years now, okay? The bottom was probably back around, I don't have the chart in front of me here, but the euro and the pound sterling hit a peak somewhere around 2008, 2009. So we've been in a big upward pattern with the dollar ever since then, okay? And that's over 11 years. So I think we're going to have a swing back, but when that swing occurs, man, that's when you're going to see equities in emerging markets. You're going to see things like properties in emerging markets go through the roof, okay? But the thing is, you have to be set when that happens, when you get that big upward movement, okay? And I think so many people here, I got people sending in these friggin' forms that have incomes of 10 and 15,000 a year. I'm thinking, what in the hell are you worried about taxes for? Okay, maybe you ought to be spending your time still looking at these videos if you're making that low income, going out here and trying to save money and work harder to where you you can afford these St. Kitts programs if you can't do it right now. But as I mentioned to you before, we've got programs a lot cheaper. We deal with over 100 different countries. You want something a lot cheaper than St. Kitts, cheaper than Antigua, no big deal. Okay, and I've always said St. Kitts is a better deal. You can look at my other videos on that. Taxes are lower. There's so many differences where St. Kitts is a lot better than Antigua. You can look at the videos I've got on that. We deal with Antigua too if you want that. But again, I've told you the St. Kitts program is still better than Antigua. And I've told you before, again, the real estate option, you're a lot better off going with that. That hasn't changed. It's still, the primary only pays $25,000 for the government fees. And you do have other fees on top of that, but I'm just doing you a comparison, $25,000 versus the old fee was $125,000 versus $250,000 now. So, you know, it wasn't, I didn't think the donation was a good option versus the real estate option, you know, when they had the deal going on. It certainly isn't now. I mean, you're looking at a tremendous difference. You know, we're looking at 10 times the difference on the government fee. To me, that just doesn't make sense. Now, if you don't have the money to go into the citizenship program with St. Kitts, maybe you should be looking at other programs, okay? We have some programs where it's almost free. Some of them, the visa-free travel is nowhere close to St. Kitts. Some of them, the tax laws, you're not going to have the income tax laws like you got in St. Kitts. But like I say, you're not going to have your cake and eat it too. You can't have, St. Kitts checks all the boxes. We can get you cheaper programs, okay? Some of them you can get real fast, but the visa-free travel is not going to be anywhere close to St. Kitts, okay? So you have to look at everything's got a price on it, okay? You buy a Mercedes, you pay a Mercedes price, you know, and you want to buy Toyota, you pay a Toyota price. It just depends on what you're looking for. But what you're going to have to do is decide what your budget is and stick with that. And if you're willing to wait longer for the passport, you know, you can do that before you get the citizenship. But I've told people before, when you go on residency by investment programs, the problem that you have with that, most of them don't pan out. And the ones that do pan out, you got to go 2 to 3 times out what the statutory period states before you can apply and actually get the passport. Most of those just don't turn out like they say they're going to do, okay? So the ones that you can get a passport really fast, okay, with a real low price, your visa-free travel is not going to be as great, okay? So you just got to decide what you want. But again, if you don't have a net worth of $2 to $3 million, well, you know, why are you looking at a St. Kitts passport anyway? That just boggles my mind. Look somewhere else. I mean, we've got a lot of countries. It just depends on what your budget is and what you're looking for. As this comes open more, and I find out more on this, you know, I'll dribble it out to you and let you know. But again, St. Kitts has got the best program. But again, I've told you before, stick with the real estate option. Your government fees, most of your money is invested if you go that route. And that's the way I would go. If you want to know more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.